what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed.
There got Tarot 2222, and this one's for all signs. All signs can be involved. This is for anyone who needs to hear this message. Your spirit team has called me out one more time on this beautiful Sunday evening. I was resting with my family, my G's, but I've been called to do this quick reading for Instagram and YouTube. Somebody needs to hear this word. Somebody needs this encouragement. So your girls come out just for you. Let's get to this reading, family. You can see new deck alert, my G's, new deck alert. And I was just going through the cards, to be quite frank, just getting acquainted with them, and 4 of these cards fell out. And when I looked at the meanings and read the paragraph that came along with it, I said, it's a word. It's a word for somebody out there. Somebody needs to hear this. So the first card out is the number 4. Somebody's been shaken to their very core. Their foundations have been shaken. It could be your marriage, relationship, or maybe this is just you questioning everything and everyone. You're asking the age-old question, is this me? Is this my life? Is this how this shit plays out? Is this all that life has to offer me? Is this me? I want to read this card that comes along with it. I hope you have time for it, people. It says, is this me? A dark fantasy female warrior with pale skin is enshrouded by a scanty, spiked bikini armor. She holds a fanged hat, hilted sword against a background of fire and ruin. The sentence is, I cannot recognize myself, as I can't remember the road that led me here. How can I see the road ahead? So some of you are questioning yourself. You're looking in the mirror and you don't even know who the fuck you are anymore. You don't recognize anything that's coming out your mouth. You strayed far from your path. You've been influenced by someone, something outside of yourself. You woke up one day and you don't even recognize the man, the woman in the mirror. And you're asking this question, is this me? This card is not about affirmations, but rather a question. Is this me? Can I recognize myself? Maybe yes, maybe no. But for sure, I lost the road I had once. The last time I stopped to really think about it, in my heart, I feel maybe like the high school girl that went to the prom. But truly, I am now 45 and I weigh 3 times. I feel my true self as the kid that wanted to play soccer with the Real Madrid. All this while punching numbers on an Excel file out in an insurance office. It is not necessarily something negative as a dream lost or corrupted. I could see myself as love is the most important thing in my life. But actually I have a very well paid job that makes me travel and I sleep alone in hotel rooms. When did we last look at ourselves in the mirror? Do we like what we see? Do we like what we are? Make no excuses, because the choices which made what we are our responsibility. If an old dream is dead, it's time to dream anew. If the old dream is alive, it's time to go back to it. So this card comes to tell you to start dreaming again. That where you are and where you've ended up in your life is all choices that you made. You made these choices, you chose those people, you chose those things. You chose that path. This card talks about taking responsibility for your actions and for where your life has ended up. You're asking, is this you? Ask yourself, are you wearing a mask? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? Do you know where you want to go and where you want to be? If so, why are you there? Why are you stagnant? Why are you allowing outside forces to stop and block you? If this is you, then who are you? If you know who you are, this card tells you to start that thing, to start that dream, to get up, dust yourself down, look yourself in the mirror, and get to know yourself all over again. Love yourself all over again. And if you didn't love yourself before, get to love yourself for the first time. You're supposed to recognize yourself. You shouldn't have to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this me? If you've lost your way, lost your path, lost yourself, it's truly no fault of your own. But now it's no time for you to stay there and feel sorry for yourself. It's time to get up, to stand up and be counted, to get back in the race, my G's. To get back in the race. Because the race is not for the swift. It's for those that can endure the pain, the hardship. Your next card out was forgetting yourself. Forgetting oneself. The number 17 translated into the number 8. This is you. First you ask, is it me? Then you realize that you forgot who you was. You don't even know who the fuck you are. You're who everyone says you are. You've taken on all these roles, put on all these hats, but you've forgotten about you. The person that's left alone in the middle of the night with all your thoughts, you. And here you are, forgetting yourself, forgetting your dreams, your goals. And this card says, I want to cut it short. It says, a modern Adonis, an ancient Hermes, a grown-up Cupid, shrined by laurel, mirth, and lotus. He is the welcoming allure of the present moment, the warm embrace which numbs everything else. I won't say that word, but he's like a wet kiss. If you let go of the pressure and of the pain, if you let go enough of your identity and of the context you live in, then you will just feel better. It is what happens when you fall asleep, when you take refuge in the arms of a loved one, or when you watch a movie slumped ungraciously on a comfy sofa. Sometimes, however, it asks for more. It takes more out of you, more of yourself to be forgotten, to feel just a little bit better. And maybe the twisted idea that if you forget everything, then you will actually really feel better. Forgetting everything, letting everything go, not just as a moment of rest, but as a jump in the dark. It is like vertigo. You stand on the edge of the precipice, and a little part of you wants to jump, but it is just a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of uncreative selfishness. So what? Let it be and sleep soundly. It's time to find yourself again. Find your dreams. Pour into you all the energy you've been pouring into these people that is not around. Turn to your left, turn to the right. Where are they? It's time for you to remember who you are and remember why you're here. Remember what your purpose is. What put that fire in your belly. The last card is fragmentation. This card spoke to me the most. A lot of you have been shattered into a million pieces. Million pieces, my G's. Something came and rocked your foundations. It makes so much sense. You asking, is this you? From a child, Your identity was stolen. For some of you, your childhood was ripped away from you. You had to create identities, not just one, but multiple identities for yourself to keep yourself safe. I see a child fragmented in the mind, in the soul, and in the spirit, tucking away the pieces of her heart and her soul and her spirit, hiding them away in a million different places, scared to put it back together in case what she will see. Now that this child is grown, she doesn't even recognize, or he doesn't even recognize himself, their self. You're left with the scars, the invisible ones, broken, fragmented, cracked open. This retrograde is no joke, innit, people? It's got you facing these demons, picking up all these pieces from where you hid them. You find yourself searching in the dark, finding each piece one by one, putting them back together, trying to make sense of your life, trying to find out who you are, where you come from, why it happened. You've been broken into a million different pieces. I feel that you're finding your way, asking those questions. You forgot about you for a time. Poured all your love into someone, some people, hoping that they'd see the real you, that they'd love the real you. But until you recognize who you are, and put those pieces back together, you will never know yourself. You will never know yourself. It's time to find those pieces. Dig deep in your subconscious. Do that shadow work. This is no joke, people. We've been put on pause for a reason. COVID-19 was orchestrated by God Himself, the Divine, putting us on pause. Time to take check of your life. Take stock, inventory, where you've been, where you're going. What's your goals? What's your aspirations? A shifting and a changing of mindsets. It's time to find these pieces and put them back together to get a clear picture on your situation. You've hidden them so much different places, you don't even have the full story. Bits and pieces coming back to you in the middle of the night. But it's time for you to put this back together and replay the story in its entirety. To face this dark night of the souls, this pain, this trauma, this child abuse, this pedophilia, this sodomy, this neglect, this abuse, this addiction, this pain. God wants to help you put it back together. He wants to help put your spirit and your soul and your heart back together, people. But it's going to take some work from you. The bottom of the deck. Wow, you can't make this up. The number 19, the number 10. The end of those karmic relationships with those parasites. Those ones. Moth to a flame. Only there when things are going good, right? Look around you. In your depression. When you're going through anxiety. I hear panic attacks. You have no one to turn to. Some of you have just your children to lean on. Some of you not even that. But I hear an end to your struggles, an end to those relationships, a killing of the parasite, starving it of its food, you removing yourself and your energy. Let me read the number 19, the short version, mind you. Relationships are not a zero-sum game. Of course, using each other is part of the game, but it's quite different when use takes the shape of supporting rather than manipulating or exploiting. In the long run, a good relationship is a win-win, where the more I give, the more I got, and the other way around still. It's not always like this, isn't it? Not just in bad relationship. In the short run, bad is bound to happen, even in the house of true love. We cling, we bite, we hunger for safety and freedom and support, and on the other side, we get mangled, bitten, demanded on. Well, it happens. It happened and it will happen again. It is part of the game. But if it happens too often, it creates a toxic environment. It doesn't matter if we are the victim or the perpetrator, as poison is shared equally. One gets the pain, another one gets the advantage, but the toxic part they both get. Fully a parasite, a leech, kills itself as much as it kills the host. It sacrifices the journey to the destination, and then the destination to its own failures. The problem is not living as sheeps, but the true problem is living as a sheep for 100 years. Wake up. Wake up. Let me just draw, I have to just draw it for you, a fairy card. I was drawn to this earlier on, and I just want to get one card for you. A message. The fairy Norn. Planning, patience, and cooperation. Want to quickly read that out. So planning, patience, and cooperation. The fairy norm. It is time to be careful, precise, and considered about what you do and what you say. It is time to share wisely, to look around very carefully, and to consider what patterns of your life will be going forward. It is time to do small and very precise things each day that will increase the stability in your world. It is time for the small, the everyday to be cared for, observed and known, and for all the loose ends of life to be tied up neatly, one by one. There is clutter and some chaos about you. There is no blame in that. The fairy Norn knows for all lives, when well lived, hold such things. But your job now is to begin to tidy up your life, to shape it and make it into a form that is more contained, more organized, and somehow for all of this, control more free. For when you introduce the order, the chaos can no longer eat away at precious reserves of time. Emotions are not squandered in the petty dramas that humans love to daily dally with, and you know what must be done, carefully, precisely, and with clear intent to bring the next shape into your life. Do this and watch your fate simultaneously reveal and transform itself. Wow, fucking wow. We love it, don't we? We love it, we love it, we love it. And might as well just cut the heart deck as we do with a last message for you. If you want to experience a deeper level of love in your relationship, you must both consciously and willingly surrender to one another. Feel and honor the sacred within each other. Be vulnerable and give yourself up to love each day and every moment. In doing so, you will unite in love. You will feel alive, reborn with each breath. One loving thought can create a world of infinite love. And your last card, let's cut it. A smile fills your heart with longing. Through the magnetism of divine love, you merge with another, and love becomes an all-embracing thought. By a touch, a word, or a glance, love heals, love unites, love transforms and transfigures all things. This is your season of love, a time of positive transformations, a time of happiness. Gang, and it's a word for you. I hope this resonated with someone. If it didn't, leave it. Take what you need and leave the rest, my G's. But I'm out. I'm going to eat my dinner that my daughter cooked for me. This is your girl, the Virgo Tarot, 2222, sending you love and light.
We're gonna play now, ready for the show. I'm about to take down, you already know. Get the fuck out of my